Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode here of Tribal Trades, the daily show coming at you from the great state of Florida. One hell of a drug. And I do want to welcome you to the channel wherever you are tuning in from around the world. Thanks for watching today. The title of the show is Pray That This Time is Different. And I have an urgent update for you today, so stay tuned for that. And a whole bunch more, and I have an exciting announcement also. But before we get into all that and a whole bunch more, smash the like button. This does help get this channel out to more people, and of course does help support the channel, as does the wonderful comments that you take the time to write. I take the time to read them and to respond to those. And if you're new to the channel here, hit that subscribe button and you'll get those updates daily from me. Pray that this time is different. And we're talking about the altcoin market Total 2. And I want to show you something here on Total 2. And on one of my live sessions that I did with the Discord this week, I believe it was on Thursday, I went over this scenario exactly with them. And we outlined a strategy on how best to trade altcoins. But I want to show you something here. This is the monthly chart. And we have here 2021. This is the top in 2021. Look how the tribal trade signals got you out right at the top there at the red. It even got you out before the big dump down here. And then, of course, it would have got you in beautifully up, down, around the bottom there. Oh, this is the altcoin market, of course, but the Bitcoin chart is very similar. We'll look at the Bitcoin chart in a moment. So tribal trades indicator, that's not what I want to look at here. What I want to see is, first of all, you have this left shoulder here, this high that came up, and you have the red dot that is there, the yellow triangle just preceding it. And then we had a big mid-cycle correction down. That happened from April down through to June. It lasted through July. And then in July, we started to see that reversal. And then the altcoin market topped out in November with Bitcoin before it capitulated, not before it created a right shoulder here and what we call a dead cat bounce, a relief rally that was cut short and stopped at the 200-day moving average. You can see there 1, 2 wicks and then a capitulation to the downside. This is the entire altcoin market, including Ethereum and all the alts, okay? Now, look what we see over here. First of all, it's a smaller structure. It's a smaller structure. And what I want to identify here is, number one, why is it a smaller structure? Because the altcoin market has struggled. And why has it struggled? One of the reasons, one of the key reasons is twofold. One is over here, there were only thousands, maybe 10,000 or less altcoins in the entire altcoin market listed on CoinGecko. Over here, there is 10 million or more listed on CoinGecko and CoinMarketCap, which means the number of altcoins has increased dramatically. And in fact, there has been about 30 million altcoins launched to date. There's about 20 million of those not on CoinMarketCap or CoinGecko. Some of those projects may be dead. So let's just say at a conservative level, it's 10 million, but it's probably a lot more. 10,000 over here, 10,000, but we have less liquidity. There is more money in the market for way less altcoins, and there is less money here, just by a little bit, less money here, and too many altcoins. Second issue is you have way too many altcoins and not enough money to go around, number one. And then number two, the altcoins that are there have ridiculously high supplies. This is what makes Bitcoin king, 21 million supply, as opposed to other altcoins out there that have hundreds and thousands of billions in supply. And this supply, most retail are just buying these shiny coins that are being shilled by these influencers out there. And they're buying them up, and the supply is enormously high. The supply is enormously high, and while they're buying, they don't realize that the owners of this token or those who hold the supply that isn't in circulation are just dumping that and diluting the price, okay? So now you have a much smaller structure here, less money in the altcoin market. More of that money is in Bitcoin, by the way. We'll look at Bitcoin in a moment here. And what we see here is something similar. We have the left shoulder with the red dot would have gotten you out of the altcoin market exactly. Then it would have gotten you back in the altcoin market in October. This is how well the tribal trade signal indicator works. This is exclusive to the Tribal Trades Discord. So in joining the Tribal Trades Discord, you get exclusive access to the Tribal Trades indicator. It would have gotten you out exactly at the top of the altcoin frenzy up here in January and February before this huge move to the downside there. Now, what do we see here? We see the similar right shoulder coming up and getting stopped at the 200-day moving average. And we have 1, 2 rejection and down. This month is crucial. If we want to change and break the structure, we need to get above 1.2 trillion, and we do not have long to go before July hits. Now, am I saying that's over for the altcoins? Is it possible that Bitcoin will stay in a bull run and altcoins will go into a bear market? Absolutely possible that Bitcoin will continue to run with the stock market now it has an ETF, and that the altcoins will possibly fade off into oblivion. But I'm not quite yet. I think we have to be prepared that this could happen, but I'm not quite prepared to call it yet. And there's a couple of reasons why. And just remember, we did have this blue bullish reversal signal here on the monthly time frame. We're getting it again and again, and ultimately we ended up getting very quickly an orange bearish reversal. It was a fake out before the shakeout, and that's what the market makers might want to push this up a little bit and then entice people to come in before a final capitulation. So we do have this over here where the stochastic RSI is down low, but it's down low over here, and it stayed that way for pretty much an entire year. We also have the other momentum indicators extremely bearish. We have a bearish crossover here, and we can see that in the last bull to bear market, you can see when it crossed over there, it crossed over there about the same place that it crossed over, and then we went into a bear market. Same thing with the RSI, how it crossed over the yellow line there, it crossed below that, and it was gone. Now, there is some hope because we did have that little bit of a cross down below over there, but we also had it over here, and then it went below a second time and never came back. So it went below here and below a second time, but it is trying to get back. You can see how it is trying to curl back to the upside, but is now curling away. So is it over for altcoins? Let me know what your thoughts are. I'd like to hear what you think is happening in the altcoin market, but that is a warning there that pray that this time is different. We got to pray that this time is different, because right now this looks to be playing out pretty much exactly like the last time. And that doesn't mean Bitcoin can't fall over either, by the way. It just may be running behind altcoins. Maybe altcoins capitulate first and then Bitcoin. But however, let's look at Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is in a bit of a different ship. Here you can see the similar situation where you have that peak, you have the mid-cycle drop, you have a second peak, and it comes up to form a right shoulder there and then capitulates to the downside. Here you have a situation, you have a first cycle top, then you have the drop, which wasn't really much of a drop, really. It was more like a bull flag compared to this. Just shows you how bullish Bitcoin is and how different it is. So this is where I'm seeing Bitcoin's different. It first of all had a bull flag there, then it went up. It had a big correction to the downside there. So down and then down again, and then it went up, a dead cat bounce, and then capitulated. We're not seeing this at the moment. We're seeing a higher highs being created, and this is why I'm saying possibly Bitcoin bull run. Maybe the 4-year cycle is broken for Bitcoin. It just keeps going and running with the stock market, and maybe altcoins fall over. I mean, those are the scenarios that are at play. But if Bitcoin can reclaim, now we have to have a look at Bitcoin. So we do see a difference there with Bitcoin, and as you can see, there is a clear green dot there. That's moved bullish on the monthly. It's bullish on the monthly on the MACD, and it's bullish on the RSI as well. But I do want to bring something to attention, is there is a current head and shoulders pattern. Now, I did identify head and shoulders for you all just the other day on the hourly time frame, and I gave you the technical target to the downside of about where it's at now, about 104. It was about 103,800, actually 104. I rounded it up. And so now we have another head and shoulders pattern here on the daily. There is the head, there's the left shoulder, the head, and the right shoulder there. And of course, you could even say that this is a left shoulder, there's a head here, and a right shoulder. So either way you look at it, there's a couple of breakdown targets. One is down to 97 and one is down to 95. Now, this doesn't necessarily have to play out, because the last time, and this is the kind of hope that we have here, is that it dropped down and it found support on the 50 EMA on the daily, and it reversed back up. But then we created another head and shoulders pattern, and we are finding support there on the 50 EMA. I do believe that if we lose the 50 EMA on the daily, the probability is becomes stronger that we are going to come down first of all and test this 100 EMA on the daily, which is at 100,000, and then you have these technical targets of 97 and 95, which is right where the 200-day moving average is. Now, of course, if this happens, alts are going to take an absolute beating. Now, again, the one thing that gives us hope, and we pray that this time is the same as this, is this can pop back up like this did, and we have a full reversal here, and possibly we see that we're on our way. But what is the other issue that we have? The 9 has now crossed below the 20, and I've shown you historically what happens when the 9 crosses below the 20. The market generally goes very, very bearish, and that's not good. Okay, and so we do see the 9 below the 20 now, and that is not a good sign. If we cannot get back above that line, which is about 105K, we need to close above this, and that will curl back up. It might not be enough to cross over, but we have a couple of daily closes. I would say by Sunday, if we have not had a daily close back above the 9 EMA, then it's a strong likelihood that these levels play out to the downside there. So that is something really to keep an eye on there. So we've looked at those markets, and of course we do want to check the one chart to rule them all, the US oil. We are getting back up dangerously close to that $76 level. We were to see a weekly close above that level, that would be quite a big red warning flag, because that's going to send inflation skyrocketing again. And if we saw a weekly open and close above that level, and remember we have the tariffs pause that is going to expire on July 9th, that's not far away either as well there. And so it'll be very interesting to see how that plays out there, of course, so with our Bitcoin charts to the downside. So that's what I'm looking for at the moment. We don't want to see the Bitcoin follow what we're seeing with the altcoins right now, and that would be flipping bearish there as well. Now, remember, historically, the June low, the low of June on average is the 13th, but that's for every year. Currently, the June low is the 5th, which would be extremely early, and that would be quite bullish if that ended up being the case. But historically, in the last 5 years, the average low for June has come in near the end of the month, around the 21st. And so it could come in, obviously we are right at the 21st. That's the average, of course. Some months it's come later, like the 28th and the 29th. And so we would need to breach 100,400 and that would create a new low. And I think if we do go below 100,000, then we are going to fulfill that technical target for the head and shoulders down to that 97 or that 95K level there as well. And also with total 2, the entire altcoin market, the issue that we have there also, it's also slipped below. Total 2 has slipped below on the daily time frame, has slipped below the 9 EMA, has gone below the 20, and we've seen that happen. We've seen big moves to the downside, considerable losses there in the altcoin market. That's like $600 billion drop the last time, and we've already dropped a considerable amount, 1.25 trillion, 1.1 trillion, that's 1.11 trillion. That's been absolutely huge there. And so that's very important. As I've said, I've taken a trader's approach to the market. Okay, I did the video a few weeks ago at the end of May saying, get out, big warning sign, I'm out. And those who heeded the warning obviously are sitting in cash waiting until there is some kind of reversal, because I don't want to be buying a dip that keeps dipping. I don't want to try and catch a falling knife. These signals have proven to be very accurate, buying the green dot, selling the green dot. And guess what? In the Tribal Trades Discord, we now have an AI trading bot for both stocks and crypto that will give you those signals directly to your phone and tell you, boom, when there is a green dot, when there is a red dot, not just on the shorter time frame for those day traders, but also on the longer time frames for those of you who more want to hold your place for longer. Maybe you work a 9-to-5 job and you need to you can't watch your phone all the time, but you just want to enter a trade, sit on it for 4 or 5 days a week, maybe a couple of weeks, and then take some profits at the end of it. And it gives you the plays both long and short, so you can make money on the way down. We did a great training yesterday for learning how to short the market and make money on the way down. And this crypto signals and stock signals just launched last night, just before I went to bed, actually. So I didn't get a chance to even trade it, but April got a trade in there. She tested it and got a nice win there. And then Zacho, who was trading while I was sleeping, because he's down in the land of the long white cloud in New Zealand, he absolutely crushed it with a bunch of trades there. He had 3 wins and 1 loss there. Appreciate the honesty there. And then again, this more than pays for the Discord for several months there. New crypto signal is too easy. Okay. And then I tested it out this morning and I found that it worked very well. I took a short on Ondo using the new crypto signals and stock signals channel there. And of course, if you do want to get started with the Tribal Trades indicator that comes with part of the Discord and get access to the trading signals, the live sessions, we have another one this weekend. We had 3 last week. We have the Life Changing Gains Trading Course University, where you can go through that with a new lesson every week, and all the other incredible stocks plays, crypto plays, Leverage Lounge, aka the Party Zone, and a whole bunch more. You can join the Discord by clicking the More button. It's in the description of this YouTube video. You might need to click the More button. That will pop out the description, and you can get signed up for the Tribal Trades Discord. And just to as a heads up, the Discord will close this month. Okay, this month there will be no more access to the Tribal Trades Discord, and we have another exciting launch coming in July that is going to blow your mind. I'll keep you informed on that, but that is closing this month. So if you were thinking of signing up for the Tribal Trades Discord to get access to the Discord and get the indicator and the trading signals channels which will send those trades to you, then make sure that you get signed up. Okay, and then after this month, it will go to a wait list, and you'll have to wait until we open it again, because it is a closed trading community, is exclusive, and we do open it up periodically for people to join, and it is open at the moment just for this month, so don't delay if you were thinking about getting started there. All right, well, that's all we have time for today. So until the next episode, or until I see you in the Discord, happy trading.